I was very young, I entered the ballroom scene. Immediately, I was mesmerized by its people. Creativity, inspiration, and acceptance surrounded me. I loved it, especially the men. And one man in particular who we're gonna call Jimmy. It all began one night in Philly. I was at this ball and the category sex siren came out. All the guys from different houses came out, and of course they were very sexy. But lastly, this tall, dark, handsome motherfucker comes out from the back. He blew my fucking mind. He was the sexiest guy I had ever seen. It was like he was made for me. He won the sex siren category and seduced me without even trying. Now I'm young, I'm new to the scene, and I'm too scared to go up to him, so all I do is remember his name. So I got Jimmy's name in my head. I go home and search him online. Cause I'm a stalker! Now I didn't search him on Facebook because Facebook wasn't around yet. Don't try to guess my age, but this happened a really long time ago. Before Instagram, before Twitter, before Facebook, before MySpace, I had to search for this motherfucker on blackplanet.com. And I found him. I couldn't believe it. My stalkerisms had worked, and I was one step closer to making this motherfucker the love of my life. The best part was, he lived in Brooklyn. I thought this nigga lived in Philly. I thought I was gonna have to move to Philly to be with him. Now, I didn't message him because I'm still afraid. I don't think this guy will ever go for me for real. So I did the next best thing. I saved his profile picture as my screensaver. Stalker. Now, every time I turned on my computer, I could see him and visualize being with him. And I turned my computer on a lot. Was I obsessed? Absolutely! There's no fucking doubt about that. And without even knowing it, I learned the famous lesson of be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Months passed and I still hadn't seen him in person. Then I went to this mini ball at this place called the Clubhouse up in Harlem. I walked the ball that night and I won. And right when I received my cheap plastic trophy, I saw him. I saw him looking at me. I saw him looking at me win. Just as I watched him win sex siren months prior, he was now seduced by me. The tables have turned! I walked off the ballroom floor and he came up to me. Congratulations, he said. He didn't really say it like that, but is this nigga really talking to me right now? Is he complimenting me right now? Is he licking his lips in my direction right now, nigga? We continue to talk. Then after about 5 minutes, nigga just pins me to the wall and sticks his tongue down my throat. Just went for it. It was all my dreams coming true. We exchanged numbers and skipped to 3 days later. He was my boyfriend. Literally 3 days later. So we're going on little dates, hanging out at his place, having a good time. It was really cool in the beginning. But isn't that how all stories start? Because after a couple weeks, things started to get real sketchy. He had all this money but was working some entry-level position over in Manhattan, not really enough to cover costs. I ignored it. He would always get random phone calls at all times in the night and would have to leave the room to take them. I ignored it. Then one day, a friend of mine calls me up and was like, yo, you gotta check out this site called Eros.com. I'm like, what's Eros.com? Basically, Eros.com was this site back in the day where everybody posted their escort ads. My friend discovers this site and is basically showing me all the people that we know that are escorts. It was escort shaming. So we're looking at all of our friends being nosy, being dumbasses, and we discovered that there's a men's section. So we click on it and we scrolling through and nothing really exciting. But something told me to scroll a little bit further. So I scroll. Jimmy was an escort. So I get off the phone because I'm embarrassed as fuck. And I call up Jimmy. Nigga, you an escort? No, I wasn't that bold back then. I simply just asked him, Jimmy, is this your profile on Eros.com? And he simply said, yeah. It was nothing to him. Yeah, I'm an escort. I'm just doing it to save up enough money to buy a car. Okay, but not in this relationship you won't. So we talk it out and he takes the profile down. I visit the site a week later and the profile's back up. We argue it out and he takes the profile down. A week later, it's back up. We fought it out and he took the profile down. But he put it up again and instead of fighting with me, he just left me and went back to his ex. Just like that. It was terrible. I was devastated. Lied to, cheated on, hurt. He gave no fucks about me and a lot of what he did shaped my mindset about relationships and the way I should be treated by men. It took a while to recover from all that negativity and be able to have real positive relationships again. So here's how I feel now. On escorting, it's not something I look down upon, judge, or feel any kind of way about. You do what the fuck you gotta do to do what you gotta do to make the fucking money you gotta make to do what you fucking gotta do. As long as it's done safely, I have no issues with people escorting. My issue is being in a relationship with someone that I don't know is having sex outside of it. I don't care the purposes for that sex. What I care about is that the sex did not involve me and it's now putting me at a health risk. At the time, at 19, if he had told me that he was an escort the first day we met, I probably would have dated him anyway, because I would have known about his activities and then able to accurately assess my risk. I probably would have been more open to dating him because he was that honest with me. Honestly, sexy as fuck. Cut to years later, now that I'm older, I probably would not date an escort for various reasons. Yes, there's a sex outside of the relationship thing, which is clearly an issue for me. But even deeper than that, I noticed certain traits in friends of mine that are escorts that wouldn't work for me in a romantic relationship. I feel as if because escorts are constantly disconnecting themselves from their emotions in order to please their clients, they're not as able to come back from that and reconnect to emotion. They have trouble having sex or experiencing emotions because so much of their job requires that they do not feel what they're doing. They can't fall for their clients, so I understand. But it doesn't translate well when you're trying to date somebody for real and you're dating people for a date. It's one of those things that I've noticed my friends get stuck in. You get used to the money, the lifestyle, the fun. It's not a mentality that you can just drop for a relationship. And I'm not entering a relationship trying to change anybody's ways. So what would you do if you found out your boyfriend or girlfriend was an escort or a stripper or doing any kind of sex work? Drop them comments below. Bye.